What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash at the request of DK Food. DK, you were actually requesting that I talk about BCH versus BTC. We'll go over that at the end of this video, or at least the second half of this video. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Thank you all for being here. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's talk about some Bitcoin Cash, you guys. We're at $328 right now. Daily RSI looking like this. I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of it. I've got more good things to feel about it than bad things, right? I like the higher lows, right? It does seem like it's on a nice kind of path upwards. It feels like we should have moved up already, right? And I was saying the same thing about Bitcoin in my most recent Bitcoin video, and earlier today even. I was just saying that with a friend, talking about it. That I feel like we should have moved up already. Like, it feels to me like we've been waiting on this next move up. I mean, obviously, we've been waiting. We have been waiting for a while, but that's not what I mean. I feel like we've been waiting on this next move up for a little bit now, and it just hasn't happened. We've had the time, the opportunities to show strength, and we just haven't. Not that we've like shown a lot of weakness. We moved down, but we've got a higher low, right? But I do think we could move down. I actually did just make a Bitcoin video in which I was calling for a move down. Probably something around like 8 to 9% of a drop. If Bitcoin drops 8 to 9% and Bitcoin Cash stayed neutral with Bitcoin, it didn't lose any value, an 8 to 9% drop for Bitcoin Cash would be somewhere between like $300 to 8% would be like 303. 302.50 to like 300, so 300 to 303, somewhere in there, right? That's if it stayed neutral with Bitcoin. If it's projected to lose value versus Bitcoin, then we could see lower prices. If it's projected to gain value versus Bitcoin, then maybe we don't go that low, right? Maybe Bitcoin Cash holds its ground. Generally speaking, when Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin Cash does go down lower, and that does worry me a little bit, because I really don't want to see Bitcoin Cash take this low out. I really don't want to see that, and I think if Bitcoin were to drop 8 to 9%, seeing a move that's like 13% is not that crazy to assume, right? It's also not that crazy that we could go a little bit lower than this, sure, but still find a higher low than that, which is preferable. We could do something like that, but I think DK at the request that you had with the Bitcoin comparison, I think that'll come in handy in this video. So we'll definitely go over that later, keeping what we're going to do here in mind. So looking at the daily RSI, it is very neutral. Technically, the most recent zone between the overbought and the oversold zone that we've been in was the oversold zone. We made an attempt for the overbought zone here, and we couldn't quite reach it. Made an attempt for the oversold zone, couldn't quite reach it, but we are below the 50 right now. The ball, I would say, is more in the Bears' court than it is the Bulls' court. I don't know, though. We've got a good-looking kind of trend here. But if this breaks, that could mean some trouble over the coming week to 2 weeks, right? It's a daily time frame, so that wouldn't be too hard to recover from, but that definitely would impede any immediate upside that we would want if we were to break, again, if we were to break this higher low trajectory we're on with the RSI. So a move that would take us, like if we were to close some daily prices below like 310, that would probably get us below there, right? And again, that if we started to do stuff like that, I would start to think we take out that low, and that'd be concerning for me. Okay, that'd be pretty concerning. Not like devastatingly concerning, because I do believe we're at a very good time in the market, but it would put me on alert. Let's just leave it at that. We look at the weekly time frame here. Weekly RSI is very neutral, a little bit on the weak side, but definitely on a neutral aspect. Higher lows, still a good look overall. You know, the further out you look, the better off it does look, actually. So I do believe that inevitably we're going to move up to this overbought zone. It's just a matter of when. I think that we could break out of this zone here to the upside as early as by the end of this month. Certainly going into next month, and certainly by the end of the year, I think that we'll be way higher than we are now. But just over the next like week or two, we could see some downside, and specifically, I think over the next week specifically. Look at the 4 hour. Sorry. 4 hour time frame here. It's not a terrible looking RSI, to be completely fair. It's definitely not like bullish. Kind of constructive right now, but the fact that you rejected the overbought zone, you're getting oversold. Like, I don't know. It's not the most bullish looking RSI. I guess I would say it's more bearish than bullish. Yeah, I think so. and that would make me think you're going down rather immediately. The daily would make me think you're going down rather immediately. So it just depends. It really depends how low you're going to go, and I think we can maybe decipher that a little bit better with that BCH BTC chart. So this is probably the time where we'll switch into that. But I would think that from here we would at least go down to around 320, 325, somewhere in there. We're at 328 now. If not, maybe 317 to 310, or literally right around 300 itself. And hopefully we don't go below that 284, 285, 286 level there. But let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin here again. Let's see. First, actually, I do want to take these percentages. We'll leave this chart here. I'm going to leave it just like this because I'm probably going to come right back to this to compare it. I'll go to BTC, BCH on Binance. Okay. BCH BTC, Binance has the most history for BCH BTC. BCH USD, Coinbase has the most Binance, or has the most historical data, not the most Binance. Binance probably has the most Binance. We're at 0.5% of a Bitcoin right now versus Bitcoin on the Bitcoin chart. The monthly RSI looking the most bullishly poised it ever has in its entire life. Weekly RSI, overall also bullish. I like the higher low trajectory that you've got. Getting overbought, not getting oversold, definitely a nice look. If you look at the path that you're on with your price, this is where it starts to get a little bit concerning, but not too concerning. We still do have higher lows overall, right? Higher lows. But we did break this kind of path we were on. I personally am not that. I used to get more phased by moves like this, but I've come to learn that, and really Eric Crown, shout out to Crown, Eric Crown. He's probably never going to watch this video, but if you guys don't know who he is too, I'm going to take a moment actually and just go to his YouTube channel. If I can, man, let's go here. Eric Crown. If you guys like stuff like my channel, right, you're going to love his channel, right? He's got experience. I think he did trade at the CBOE, I'm pretty sure, if not ARCA. I think it was CBOE. He's like an actual market maker and a trader. He's got professional background in this stuff, and he's been doing this for a lot longer than I have, but he doesn't do TA the same way that I do it. He definitely uses different indicators. But tomato, whatever. I like the way that he goes about things. I like the way that he looks at things, and I think he's a very smart mind in the space. If you check out his channel, especially if you're new to trading at all, you go to his playlist. He's got this whole thing for free. I mean, he's got all this stuff is great, man. But where is it? Where are we at here? Trading Psychology Series, 53 videos. You want to spend some time, you want to podcast yourself out, bro. This is a great, especially if you feel emotionally charged in the markets or you want to prevent that. I think this is phenomenal. He talks a little differently than he normally does. Okay, he's normally like kind of and he's always funny. I think he's always funny and entertaining, and a little bit grungy, but he's a little bit more professional and laid back and calm in these, and I think that's kind of the style he wanted it to be. But just really, really good series. All of these are great. He's just a great individual himself, I think. But something that I learned from him, what got me all caught up in buttering the bread there, was that these diagonal lines breaking is not that big of a deal. Like it can be, sure, but like really more oftentimes than not, it's kind of a head trip. It's just there. The diagonal lines aren't the ones that you worry about breaking. It's the horizontal lines that you worry about breaking, right? You see this low right here? This is your low that you got to worry about breaking, right? And maybe not even that low. If we take this low and we look over here, not a whole lot of significance. If we move it up to where that low is, maybe something around here could be it. Even the closing low, like right here, right? Horizontal lines, look at that. Respect right there, right? Are a lot more significant to break than the diagonal lines. The diagonal lines are for noobs, for novices, for beginners. And again, when I was a beginner, they used to matter more to me. So I'm just saying the fact that we've broken out of this doesn't really scare me. Okay, I think really it's actually meant to look scary for people. It's meant to make them think, oh, we've broken the trend. This means we're going down, and then we go up. I'll show you what I mean. Got a perfect example right here. At least I think I do. I've watched Bitcoin before. Let's see, right here, okay? Low to low here, okay? Right there, right? When we broke this, people were like, oh, the bull market's over, we're dead. And we didn't. It was, in fact, it was actually right at the point that people were certain, because we broke this line, that the bull market was over. That's when things kicked off. That's when things got exciting. You know what I mean? It was only after we did that, after we broke that line, after it was so terrible, that things really kicked off. And then same thing to the upper side here. Watch this, right? From a high point here down. Oh, we broke the line. Look, it's time to go to new all-time highs. Psych. Just kidding, right? As soon as you got bullish, that's when it was the time to get bearish. It happens. Okay, so all I'm saying is BCH, BTC, the fact that we broke in this line, it's not that big of a deal. And on the way, I decided to butter some bread for Eric Crown. All right, so now that we're back here, back to not in the kitchen buttering bread, we're here looking at this. I'm not that worried that we've broken this trend, right? I think that it's fine. We've got a higher low. We're actually at an area that it makes sense to find support. So this is nice, because what we would like to see is that we hold the support area, that we don't break below it, because it is a key area. It would make sense that we hold it, because it's kind of what we're doing now, and it looks like we're going to hold it. The weekly RSI looks fine. The daily RSI, it actually doesn't look that good, to be fair. But we have rejected the 50 a couple times now, and not getting oversold, that actually is a good looking thing. So that, I think we could look to break the 50 here. The daily RSI definitely makes me think we would go lower, but the price action makes me think we would go a little bit higher, like we'd be due for a move. So maybe we do move up. This would be good. Let's look at the 4 hour. See if that, oh yeah, dude, the 4 hour looks good. Yeah, relatively speaking, that's nice, right? Not getting oversold, rejecting the 50, not getting oversold, and boom, you moved up. I'm just asking for the same thing on the daily. Rejecting the 50, not getting oversold, boom, you move up, right? And the 4 hour is looking strong right now. It actually does look pretty good. Oh, this is good, man. This is exactly kind of what I was hoping for on this. Okay, good. Yeah, I do think BCH versus BTC is going to grow over the coming days, maybe even over the coming week, which would be phenomenal. I do think we hold this line. If we gain or lose versus Bitcoin over the next week or two, I doubt it's that much, but probably toward the end of this month and going into next month, that's when we'll start to move up more. But that's perfect, because that does, that does add up with this. If Bitcoin were to move down 8 to 9%, then we wouldn't see Bitcoin Cash break below this low right here, right? An 8 to 9% move down from its current price would be, at a lower low than this low here, but it would be around like $300, probably just above 300, but around 300 nonetheless. So that makes sense. I like that. All in all, again, if we're to move down, if we move up over the next week or two, probably not that much, but overall, I do expect we're going to move up. I think we're holding the right areas. I think we're not holding the areas that who cares about, but we are holding the areas that you should care about. We've got this flat top here. And while it's not the most perfect looking ascending triangle, we still do have higher lows. I believe that on this next interaction, we're going to break out. If we don't break out immediately, we'll consolidate a little bit, and then we'll break out later. But soon enough, you guys, we're going to have this uptrend versus Bitcoin, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. I truthfully believe, again, to end the video, actually, I believe that we're going to get a trifecta of things that are very, very bullish indicators on any chart. And we're getting 3 of them to happen all at once, all at the same time, all at the same instance. Okay. With this move above these highs, okay, what we would have for Bitcoin Cash's first time in existence is higher lows and higher highs, if a properly established uptrend, of which we've never seen versus Bitcoin ever before, right? We've seen little runs, little moments, but we've seen higher lows, but those higher lows came at a cost, lower highs. We've seen higher highs, but those higher highs came at a cost, lower lows, right? When we finally got our higher lows, that's when we got lower highs. We've never had higher highs and higher lows together. We've actually never seen this green line slope upwards. We might get the green line to slope up, the long-term moving average. We might get our first uptrend versus Bitcoin if and when this move happens. And I say might, I very much am expecting and counting on this move to happen. When that move happens, Bitcoin Cash itself will be breaking out of its entire existence of a consolidation phase, right? From a high to a high here, it's been under this line its entire existence, right? It's not in a downtrend, right? Just like it's not in an uptrend here. Okay, it's not an uptrend because that's sloping up. It's not a downtrend because it's sloping down. It's in a consolidation phase. It's been consolidating its whole existence. When you break out, when you form an uptrend versus BTC, when you break out of these highs here, when you first form an uptrend versus BTC, that will correspond directly with breaking out of this trend here, this consolidation phase here. Okay, so bullish, very, very significant, lifetime, historically bullish event that you're going to go through. Okay. Arguably the most bullish thing that you've ever done in your life besides forking off of Bitcoin, right? Very bullish thing here, the most bullish thing you've ever done against Bitcoin, absolutely corresponding with each other. And then to tie it all off, we get on our MA exponential ribbon here too. Another first that we've never done before would be flipping the ribbon here. I was about to say the 123, but flipping the moving averages of this ribbon here bullish. They've only been bearish. The yellow, when the yellow's on the bottom, that's how you know it's in a bearish trend. Technically still bearishly postured right now. In fact, we're very coiled up right now. This could be ideal for a bearish situation if we were to start closing months below the yellow line. So it's important we don't. We're very, very close to the yellow line. I'm not worried that we're going to close a month below it. I'm definitely not worried about that at all. But I am expecting, again, in correspondence with the uptrend for Bitcoin, or Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin, in correspondence to breaking out of this trend, this consolidation phase you've been in, you're also going to have this monthly ribbon flip, and that is super, super significant, guys. You might not know what this ribbon is. You might not know what it means. It might not be significant to you, but I'm telling you, as a trader, as an investor, as a technical analyst myself, I've been doing this for about 8 years now. This is a very significant thing, and this might be one of the most, if not the most significant thing. That I think the most significant thing personally is the BCH BTC chart. I think that's the most significant thing, but they're all super significant things, like very significant things. And traditionally speaking, this is a very, very significant thing. I was about to say very effing significant thing, but dude, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. It's all starting soon. First, we might move down. We're at 328. Maybe we move down to 300, and then we move up afterwards. But that's all I got for you guys, you know. A little bit of hopium at the end there, right, to mask the bearishness, right? Got to give you your little dose of dragon hopium there. You don't need it though. I know you guys all got your own stash, but yeah, I'm not worried about the BCH BTC price. I still think we're on track for new highs relative to this year, and still on track for our first uptrend. So just time. It's just going to take time. It's probably not going to happen right now, but I say that by the end of this month, guys, I think everything's going to start to really look the way that we've been painting it for the past couple months now. Or I don't even know how. It might have been longer than that. I don't know, like 3 months now. I don't know, 2.5 months. It's really all going to start to come together, I think, by the end of this month. And that's all I got. So if you guys liked the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.